Welcome. Leave a like and subscribe for more amazing videos. As the human body ages, it loses its physical capabilities, more or less gradually. Especially between the ages of 40 and 50, a period doctors call the fifth decade. A process of deterioration begins in various organs of our body. We lose muscle mass, vision becomes less sharp, and joints begin to fail, for example. But in the brain, the process is a little different. More than a process of progressive deterioration, what occurs is a kind of reconfiguration of the internal wiring. This is one of the conclusions of a team of researchers from Monash University in Australia, who analyzed more than 150 studies on the aging of our bodies and, especially, our brains. The brain, although it represents only 2% of our body, consumes 20% of the glucose that enters our body. But, with age, it loses the ability to absorb this nutrient. Neuroscientist Sharna Jamadar explains to BBC News Mundo from Monash University. What the brain does is a kind of re-engineering of its systems to make the best possible use of the nutrients it can now absorb, she explains. According to scientists, this process is radical. And, as a result, the different networks of neurons become more integrated in the following years, with effects on the cognitive process. But what surprised the researchers is that, in some of the cases studied, this rewiring managed to create a kind of resistance to brain aging. The important thing is to know the processes that occur inside our mind that can help us understand how we can delay brain aging, explains Jamadar. Reconfiguration. One of the main achievements of neuroscientists in recent decades has been to decipher, to some extent, how the brain works. The main conclusion is that our brain is made up of a complex network of units which, in turn, are divided into regions, subregions, and, in some cases, individual neurons. With this in mind, during our growth and youth, this network and its units are in a process of high connectivity, which is reflected, for example, in the learning of specific topics, highlights the neuroscientist. This is why, at this age, it is easier to learn specialized sports and new languages, as well as developing our skills in general. But, according to the analysis carried out by the Monash University team, led by Hamish Deary, these circuits change radically when we reach the 40s. The result is less flexible thinking, less response inhibition, and reduced verbal and numerical reasoning, explains Jamadar. She adds that these changes are observed in people during this so-called fifth decade, which coincides with findings that connectivity changes in these networks peak as you move from your 40s to your 50s. This is because the circuits connect more with the networks that direct general and not specific themes, as is the case in previous years. It's as if, before 40, the circuits pass through the brain units connected to very sophisticated networks, says the neuroscientist. After 40, what we observe is that circuits connect with all circuits, almost without discrimination. Aging resistance. But the scientist emphasizes that the study also demonstrated that these radical changes end up helping us resist the passage of time in the brain, according to some of the cases studied in different research. The important thing about this discovery is that it offers us tools to start researching how this resistance is achieved, which is fundamental to finding a solution to brain aging, according to Jamadar. In this sense, One of the aspects that caught our attention is that tasks that depend on automatic or highly repeated processes practiced throughout life are less affected or may even improve. Themes such as language or others that we learn in general, useful in our daily lives, can even improve over the years, says the researcher. Since nutrient optimization is one of the reasons for radical changes in the brain's wiring, the main recommendation for keeping the brain healthy as we age is to maintain a healthy diet and exercise. In this sense, it is recommended to consume foods such as nuts, avocado, and other vegetables. The brain will consume glucose in smaller quantities and less efficiently, explains Jamadar, so the foods we consume will have immediate effects on our brain health. Therefore, she also recommends doing mental exercises, such as crosswords and other memory games. They will allow these networks to remain active, even though they are no longer so connected to each other. Welcome. Leave a like and subscribe for more amazing videos.